and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to a full Barca news roundup here today, guys, and complete with all of the pictures and the editing. And I have to say, still encountering, unfortunately, a few personal problems away from the channel right now, so I can't guarantee this is going to be the case every day. We're still going to mix it up, and I'm really just going to try and do the very best that I can. But I really thank you indeed for the great support here, and today, it's a big day. It's a very important day for the club. We're going to be talking in detail about the Dani Olmo registration situation. We've got all the latest transfer news and a big update too on Lamine Yamal. It is all on the way for you, and wishing you a very happy new year as well. Let's do this, because today's video, guys, is coming to you courtesy of Manscaped right here, who have been absolutely colossal help to the channel in 2024. And right now, why not see in the new year with a brand new look, with a really fresh look. New year, new me, and all of that. Or maybe you already look good in 2024. Maybe you already had a really fresh look and you want to keep it going. New year, same me then. Whatever you want to do, because maybe you want to check out the Chairman Pro package, and this is something here that will make shaving quick and easy. I think that's really important for all of us. You know, we've all got things to do. Let's get the job done, but let's get the job done well, because we're actually going to be talking today about our very own chairman, and I would just say things aren't quite as cutting edge in that department here. So the chairman will get you on your way, it will get the job done well, and if you would like to head over to the Manscaped website right now, you can get 20% off the entirety of your order with the code TalkFCB. Just tap that in there at checkout and you are on your way. But let's get on now to the big news. Because first of all, guys, how about we end the year with some news on a very old friend here on the channel. Let's talk about Clement Lenglet, because look, in fairness here, and to actually give Lenglet a little bit of credit, you know, credit where it is due, he has been performing very, very well this season for Atletico Madrid, and we actually saw that ourselves. Just before the break, he was part there and played the full 90 minutes of the team that beat us, of course, and he's been really, really impressive. Simeone's very happy with him. Lenglet is enjoying himself as well in Madrid, so like I've said before, why not keep this going? Why not keep all of these good vibes going and make it a permanent thing? Because Atleti, they actually want to. They want to sign Lenglet on a permanent deal in the coming year. And I think of all the loans that Lenglet has had, you know, you think about Tottenham, you think about Aston Villa, their loans for the Premier League, they all felt a bit empty. They only ever felt as though they were just going to be loan deals. But I think this one here with Atleti, this one feels real. It feels as though it could actually go somewhere and become permanent. Right now we're hearing in the media that Atleti could offer between 8 to 10 million euros to sign Clement Lenglet. They could actually come with real money and buy him permanently. And of course Lenglet remains on that ludicrous contract until 2026, but every year we get closer to the end of that deal. And every year that goes by, it should, in theory, become much easier to get Lenglet to leave. And this is one that I feel genuinely could actually happen. But if we do then move on to a man that we've really been missing, and we have been waiting for lots of information about on his recovery and his fitness, let's talk about Lamine Yamal and where he is right now. When can we expect him back early there in that brand new year? Well, let's just actually go back here to the 16th of December, when, remember, the club confirmed that Yamal had suffered an ankle injury, that he had there a problem, and he would be out for, they said, between 3 to 4 weeks of action. Now, right now, guys, remember here, from the 16th of December to now, it's been just about 2 weeks. That's all that Yamal has been out for, and yet tomorrow, he's back in training. And, you know, not just individually, not just doing a little bit of work here in and around the team. He is back tomorrow training with the group. His recovery has been absolutely incredible, it would seem. And I just hope here again that we're not rushing things in any way, because for me, there's still no chance, no way at all should Yamal be involved in the Copa del Rey. Our first match back of the year against Barbastro, you know that pitch is not going to be good. Playing away there at a lower league opposition, there's no need for Yamal to be involved in that game, no need to take the risk at all. All eyes now are on the Super Cup. You know, that trip to Saudi Arabia, the semi-final there coming up against Athletic Club. Barca have always wanted him back back for that game. They've always been saying, look, we hope that we can have you back in time. It looks as though they're going to get their wish. It looks as though Yamal here has recovered very, very well, but I maintain we must be careful with him. That is the most important thing, but positive signs on Yamal. But if we do then move on to the biggest talking point by far and away from the past few days, and by the way, it's not a good one. You know, none of us wanted to be sitting around over the Christmas time, over the New Year period here thinking, are we even going to be able to play and register a player that we signed 6 months ago for 60 million euros? And remember that if Olmo is not registered by the end of the day, that's it. He is not going to be registered for the rest of the season. He cannot play for Barca. And apparently, there's a clause in his contract that says he can walk away for free. And yet, we're into the final hours. As I am recording this video right now, nothing. We have heard literally nothing about it being done. The wait is still going on. And what we're hearing from the club is, it's going to be a long day. It's going to be a nervy day. It's going to be a restless day. How many times have we been here? I mean, how many times here have we come down to the final hours of something? And why? Why is it always the case with Barca that they do this? And what we're hearing in the media right now is that Premier League clubs, Bundesliga clubs, they are really interested. They are looking at this situation right now. They're probably getting quite excited, thinking, okay, is Olmo going to be available for nothing? Are Barca really going to mess up that badly that we can get our hands on this guy? They are all watching, and they are all probably laughing at us. Because yesterday, the court did indeed reject Barca's second appeal to register Dani Olmo and, of course, Pau Victor in this situation. And that meant there that registering Olmo via the courts, well, that was done. That was off the table now. And remember, that was actually an area there. That was one of the avenues that Barca were quite hopeful about. They thought that going through the courts, it might be accepted. He may be able to play that way. Well, that was turned down on 2 separate occasions. So right now, Barca are basing everything around the sale of the VIP boxes for a stadium, by the way, that we're not even playing in yet. We still don't even know when we're going to be back there, but we are relying on the sale of those VIP boxes from the new Spotify camp now, and we've submitted all of the documentation to La Liga. Now, they're going to review that, and they're going to go over it very, very carefully, and I would also argue slowly. You know that La Liga, they're not going to rush through this. They are going to take their sweet time reviewing everything, and they're going to make us wait, maybe even until the next day. Who knows? Because the last resort, though, guys, if that doesn't actually go through, is some sort of guarantee from the board. We've spoken about this before in a previous podcast, where the board members there will put basically their own money on the table as a bank guarantee, basically saying, look, the money is here from us, and they would then get reimbursed at a later date. So the board didn't really want to do that, but hey, they might have to. It might not be a case of if you want to, you may be forced to actually go down that road at some point. But let me just say, guys, no matter what happens, and in my personal opinion, I think in the end, Olmo, Pau Victor, I think they will be registered. I think the Barcelona board there, like I say, even if they have to put their own money on the table for the time being, they will have to do that, and they will do that. I believe they will be registered in the end, but I hate this situation, and I hate the way that we keep, as a club, doing this, putting ourselves in these last-ditch situations here, whereby the players, apparently, over the past few days, have been going to the club there, calling them, looking at those around them, looking at their entourage, thinking, am I going to be registered? Am I going to be able to play in the second half of the season? And apparently the club been going back and saying, you're going to be registered, it'll happen today. And then the day comes to the end. Oh, it's okay, it'll happen tomorrow. And then that day comes to an end. It keeps going back and back and back. And this shouldn't happen. Players at a club like Barcelona, at such a historic, incredible club, should not have to go through this. We as fans should not have to suffer the torment of other clubs' fans laughing at our situation because we constantly leave everything until the last minute. And we do this so often. Even if everything gets solved, even if everything gets done in the end, why does it have to be this way? And even within the board, by the way, guys, right now, there is a disconnect happening. There is a feeling from lots of the board members inside of the club that, okay, now, not everybody's pulling in the same direction. Not everybody is feeling the same way about what is happening. And I think questions are being asked, not only about what's happening, what we're seeing every single transfer window, what we're having to go through, but I think it's more about the way things are being done, the way that we as a club, as a historic club, are conducting ourselves. It is not a good look. It doesn't look good to players, it doesn't look good to fans, it doesn't look good to sponsors, I'm sure. This is not the way that things should be done, and it keeps happening. and it can't keep happening, guys. So please, what do you think is going to happen? We will be waiting all day, probably, before we find out the answer. I hope that it'll be done. I believe in the end that it'll be done, but this is still damaging, and this is still not helpful to any of us or to the club, guys. So please let me know all of your thoughts and feelings down below. I'm sure that you've got a lot on your mind right now, so please let me know all of that, and I will see you soon for lots more videos in lots of different formats on the way. Thanks indeed for the great support, and a big shout out here to Manscaped. But until next time, as always, Vejska, Hell Barça!